Hello everyone, welcome to Cycle, a program focused on Mongolian business and economy. My name is Batsir Namshir. MSC traded a total of 164.9 million shares worth 23.5 billion MNT. Financial Regulatory Commission allows fungibility of dual-listed stocks. Companies presenting their 2020 semi-annual report. Exports decreased by 17% compared by previous year. Government debt rose by 1.7 times between 2015 and 2019. Let's take a look at highlights of 2020 semi-annual reports of the Mongolian Stock Exchange. The Mongolian Stock Exchange state-owned company has achieved the following results in the first half of 2020. MSC traded a total of 164.9 million shares worth 23.5 billion MNT on the primary and secondary markets. In total, the market turnover reached 29.1 billion MNT. Due to the spread of COVID-19 pandemic, MSC's trading volume significantly declined. However, MSC successfully launched the IPO of Body Insurance joint stock company worth 5.3 billion MNT and public offering of Landbank financial institution joint stock company's corporate bond worth 5 billion MNT. According to the resolution of Financial Regulatory Commission on shifting the Mongolian capital market to the delivery versus payment with T+2 finality system on March 31st, 2020, MSC's trading rules were amended to include the concepts of trade affirmation and trade cancellation. The asset-backed securities listing rules that adopted by the Mongolian Stock Exchange Board of Directors meeting were approved by the Financial Regulatory Commission chairman's order. It will enable that banks and financial institutions pool their assets and create asset-backed securities which allow them to raise capitals and reduce risks. This new product will offer not only new financing source for issuers but also less risky financial product with fixed income for investors. In 2018, the dual listing was introduced to the market, and it has become a significant development milestone for Mongolian capital market in that it will enable foreign-listed mining companies operating in Mongolia to be listed on the MSC, giving the Mongolian public the opportunity to share the rewards and risks of their businesses. In order to improve the legal environment of dual-listed stocks, Financial Regulatory Commission's regulation on dual listing was amended on August 12th. These amendments will allow the fungibility of dual-listed stocks between the markets, which will benefit the liquidity of the stocks, provide investors with opportunity to take advantage of price differences of the markets, as well as increase supply of the stocks in the domestic market. Monolith joint stock company presented its semi-annual financial and operational report to public. The company established a new 1,772 square meter healthy drinks and beverage factory that meets the GMP international standards by the proceeds of 8.5 billion MNT raised from public in 2019. As for the first half of the year, sales revenue reached 5.4 billion MNT and net profit rose by 18%, reaching 400 million MNT compared to the same period of the previous year. Landbank, non-banking financial institution joint stock company, presented its semi-annual financial and operational report to public. During the reporting period, the company focused on system upgrades and has achieved the following key results. It successfully raised 5 billion MNT from public by issuing Landbank bond with 17% annual coupon rate. It upgraded the system which enabled loan partial payments and reduction of interest rate by bonus points. Net profit grew by 12%, reaching 2.8 billion MNT compared to the same period of the previous year. Talkhchir joined the company presented its semi-annual financial and operational report. Compared to the same period of 2019, the company has achieved the following results. Sales grew by 3.5 billion MNT, reaching 28.8 billion MNT, and net profit rose by 8.9% and amounted to 818.2 million MNT. The company has started to develop online trading platform. Within the framework of enhancing its social responsibility, It successfully implemented the Immunity Support Team program and Confronting the Crisis Together program. Mongolian Post Joint Stock Company presented its semi-annual financial and operational report. The company's operating income increased by 5%, or 398 million Mongolian tugrus, reaching 7.3 billion MNT, comparing to the same period of the previous year. During the reporting period, Bud Insurance Joint Stock Company's commission income increased by 5.3%, reaching 7.7 billion Mongolian tugrus, comparing to the same period of the previous year. However, net profit decreased to 765 million MNT due to the growth of compensation and operating expenses. It has started providing the most demanding 7 insurance products. Further, the company is planning to accelerate its technological innovation. It is also developing the AXA International Health Insurance product. Bud Insurance Joint Stock Company that introduced the online insurance and international health insurance product for the first time in the market is aiming to increase its net profit by 31.5% to 2.2 billion MNT in the end of 2020. Gabi Joint Stock Company successfully expanded its online stores and started to operate the stores in English, German, Russian, Chinese, Polish and French within the framework of the policy of expanding its position in the international market. Due to the spread of COVID-19, tourism industry experienced a significant decline and the company's domestic sales reduced by 57%, reaching 18.8 billion MNT. Total sales decreased by 45%, or 37.5 billion MNT. However, online sales grew by 15 times compared to the same period of the previous year and recorded 3 billion MNT. On August 11th, Minister of Food, Agriculture and Light Industry Min Tsakhin received representatives from the Embassy of Hungary in Mongolia. At the start of the meeting, Ms. Abrusansky highlighted the expansion of partnership between the two countries in the sector of agriculture, noting that the implementation of the renovation project of Biocombinat is one of the indications. She then expressed that the Hungarian Ministry of Agriculture is ready to partner in involving agricultural specialists and researchers in long and short-term training and scholarships. Minister Min Tsakhin expressed his delight in partnering with the ministry in training the sector's scholars and researchers and noted his interest in focusing on improving water management and developing greenhouse farming that meets global standards. He also expressed that necessary measures for the Biocombinat renovation project will be urgently taken.
Well, actually, if the Mongolian parliament approves the amended contract to build the biocombinate in Songino, that would open up your market for Hungarian technologies. So I think that the issue of the biocombinate in Songino is much more important than just, between quotation marks, of course, just building a factory.
Mongolia has a livestock population of over 60 million, and Mongolia imports vaccines from Russia and other countries. So it's essential for Mongolia to produce vaccines.
Yeah, we are highly developed in pharmaceutical and veterinary industry. So the technology we will bring here will be state of the art, you can be sure about that.
On August the 14th, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam to Mongolia and representatives of the Ministry of Food, Agriculture and Light Industry worked in Darkhan Old Province. The officials became acquainted with the operations at Darkhan Leather and Hide Processing Complex and Darkhan Industrial and Technological Park and exchanged views on further partnership. At the start of the working visit, they became acquainted with construction of the leather and hide processing complex being built in the industrial region of Darkhan Old Province and discussed the implementation of the project with corresponding executive officials. Following the visit to the construction site, the sides exchanged views on possible areas for partnership, in which they came to the decision for the side of Vietnam to help connect entities to partner in the project. On August the 12th, Minister of Mining and Heavy Industry Yon Dong received Ambassador of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland to Mongolia, Mr. Philip Malone. During the meeting, the sides highlighted the further development of relations and partnership between Mongolia and the UK in the mining sector. They then expressed that efforts will be put into close cooperation in the framework of the Memorandum of Understanding in the mining sector established between the two countries in 2016. The two sides also exchanged views on various socio-economic challenges and obstacles that have surfaced in both countries due to the pandemic, and expressed that support and assistance will be mutually provided in further projects and programs being jointly implemented. On August the 14th, Minister of Road and Transport Development Hutter received Ambassador of the United States of America to Mongolia, Michael Klaczewski. At the meeting, the U.S. Ambassador to Mongolia, Michael Klaczewski, said it's possible to operate regular direct passenger flights between the two countries in the near future once the preparations are well ensured. Mongolia successfully conducted two-time direct flights to the United States to repatriating its nationals stranded in the U.S. back to their home country. In the first 7 months of 2020, Mongolia traded with 135 countries from all over the world, and the total trade turnover reached $6.7 billion, of which $3.8 billion were exports and $2.9 billion were imports. Total foreign trade turnover decreased by $1.3 billion, of which exports decreased by $782.8 million and imports decreased by $565.2 million. The foreign trade balance was in surplus of $846 million in the first 7 months of 2020, while it was in surplus of $1.1 billion in the first 7 months of 2019, decreased by $217.7 million from the same period of the previous year. In the first 7 months of 2020, 35.2% of the total imports were from China, 27% was from Russia, 8% was from Japan, 4.9% was from the USA, and the 4.4% was from the Republic of Korea, accounting for 79.5% of total import. In 2015, total government debt was 14.4 trillion MNT, and it increased by 54.5% in 2016 to 22.3 trillion MNT, reaching 23.9 trillion in 2019. It means the total government debt increased by 1.7 times between 2015 and 2019. Now let's take a look at the global news from our partner agencies. The traditional gold jewelry market for weddings in Pakistan is suffering because of the coronavirus pandemic. Rather than buying gold, some families planning a wedding are being forced to rent jewelry. Shamol Islam Hang, advisor at the Karachi Chamber of Commerce and Industry, explains that gold prices have jumped as investors move money into an asset seen as a safe haven amid the coronavirus pandemic.
The US dollar witnesses decline internationally, which is the main cause of price hike of gold. And in Pakistan, to see the trend, the richest people have invested in gold. And on the other hand, Pakistan's stock exchange also witnessed an uptrend last year. These are the main reasons. Pakistan witnesses 34% increment in gold prices. Later people, as well as corporate investors, invested in gold. So gold prices in Pakistan continue to see uptrend.
उसने एक आम इन्वेस्टर को भी उसमें अट्रैक्ट किया और बड़े इन्वेस्टर को भी किया.
Due to the pandemic, the prices of real gold are touching the skyline, and that is the reason I'm not able to wear gold in my nikah and used artificial jewelry.
Thousands of people make their livelihoods through the gold business in Pakistan. And despite lockdown easing, many shops remain empty and business is slow. Haji Harun Rashid Chand, president of the Jewelry Shop Association, explains.
Jewelers have faced two issues when COVID-19 emerged. One is the price of jewelry prices was 88,000 rupees, which is around 521 US dollars. And as of today, 10th of August 2020, when we opened the shop, the price of gold has been increased to 130,000 rupees, which is around 774 US dollars. The irony is we have to deliver orders according to the previous rate for those who booked their gold before the pandemic. On the other hand, during the lockdown in the last 3 months, our business has declined. We are not able to pay salaries to the employees and unable to pay utility bills, shop rents, and so on. It was a big lose during the pandemic. Actually, the lockdown has set us 5 years back. The price of gold has increased sharply and reached 130,000 rupees. That is the reason the business of artificial jewelry is full swing.
Japan's economy shrank at annual rate of 27.8%, the worst contraction on record, as the coronavirus pandemic slammed consumption and trade, according to the government data released on Monday. Yasutoshi Nishimura, Minister of State for Economic and Fiscal Policy, said during a news conference that a state of emergency was issued in April and May, which impacted the results by artificially stopping the economy.
In April and May, a state of emergency was issued. It was a situation where the economy was artificially stopped, so to speak. So that impact was a severe result.
Well, that's all for Cycle. Thanks for watching and see you next time.